Tell us a little bit about how you see the Indonesian theatrical theater-going experience. How has it evolved over the past few years?
2 years, the cinema habit has changed dramatically. What happened was because of the aggression of the OTT platforms, uh, people started watching at home aggressively. So we were watching many, many hours every day. So when the theaters came, uh, things changed. If it's something not spectacular enough, something that's not communal enough for your friends and family, something that has not that strong viral buzz, something without FOMO, something that does not give you that experience or that escapism, you wouldn't go. So the, the 2 years, we kept all our IP in the fridge, in the freezer, understanding where the audience was. We got lucky with Miracle in Cell number 7. We got about 5.8 million. But I would say that it was quite unpredictable because the audience was actually changing and horror was doing incredibly well. And we never did horror in our lives. So we depended on directors and we were actually learning. So for me, if you're going to the cinema, bring your best. Bring that spectacle. If not, don't go to the cinema. Small movies is not the place for the cinema. So that's how cinema has changed in Indonesia and across the world with friends from Korea, Bollywood, and the rest.
Got it. Thank you, Naveen. And I want to talk about how you are an independent studio. How do you sort of approach the balance between needing that commercial success versus obviously you have your artistic goals and integrity of your content?
So we are a wholly owned company, privately placed, sole proprietorship. I envision my company to be like Lego, very creative, taking those brave moves. Uh, and thus, it's very, very important for me to be inspired. So I'm always hearing, this is what the customer wants, this is what I need to give. But I have my own vision. As a storyteller, I want my stories to be heard. So I'll give you an example. We bought the remake rights from America, and I saw the film. I said, this film does not need a dialogue. And when many years back, when I saw Quiet Place with my beautiful niece, we both enjoyed that silent movie. So I said, I should be making a movie like that. So we took that film, that American film, we threw all the dialogues out, and we made the film. Except calling of names, the film has no dialogue whatsoever. So this October, we were supposed to put it on cinema, but one of our OTT friends loved it so much, they said, please give it to us. And for me, always money has never been my motivator. Uh, Telling great stories, being inspired is what it is. So I'm looking to see how this movie without a dialogue does when it launches in 250 countries across the world. So that's one brave move. The other brave move that Perfect Strangers, an entire movie for almost 2 hours shot in one room. So we as storytellers need to take that risk to keep our sanity and balance because we watched this movie many, many number of times. So we have this 80-20 rule that 80% has to be great IPs. We need to entertain the audience, but 20% I need to entertain myself. So that's the balance that we take.
Let's talk a little bit about your streaming partnerships. You already mentioned that there was a film that you thought was more suitable streaming. How are your films currently windowed? Who are your partners right now?
So we at the producers association all agreed that we needed to protect cinema. That ecosystem is very, very important for us. The streaming is also very, very important for us now, but we can't lose one for the other. So we agreed that the window has to be 4 months. I know the American window is about 45 days. Some even go day and date, perhaps. But no, we've agreed that it has to be 4 months. And it works well for everyone. That's where the window is. And your second question is, how is our relationship with the streaming platform?
Streaming partnerships.
So uh, the streamers have been very kind to Falcon. They have given us opportunity to make really, really big stories, big budgets. As we speak, we are shooting one of our series in Nepal, Pakistan, Tibet, India, Indonesia.
And how do you evaluate, because in Indonesia it's a very competitive OTT landscape right now. If you have multiple offers, how are you evaluating where your title goes? Is it a purely sort of monetary relationship, or are you looking at brand, some other element?
So I believe in the principle of partnership. It has to be a mutually beneficial situation. So I was speaking to my streamer friends today and yesterday. I said, when I give you content, I feel like I'm taking this content to the cinema. If I'm trying to gain tickets, I'm trying to gain subscribers for you too. So for me, uh, if there needs to be a longer canvas for that storytelling, then the streamers is a perfect space. But I wouldn't make any differentiation. For me, again, it's very hard for me to predict whether this would give me 10x or 15x. Uh, but I believe that the stories must be accepted, must be loved, must be touched by those hearts, and we must all be happy doing it, streamers and us. And I hope there is no gloom amongst the streamers that I've heard. It's just this downside, and we have to pick up, and we both platforms and great contents can invite these audience back again.
How do you as a studio, because Naveen, I think marketing of your content is something very core to how you bring your movies to theaters. When you license to streamers, do you have control over that marketing and messaging?
Uh, I, of course, they have the control, but it is extremely important for us to be involved. So before, I used to fill in the blanks. I would see what they would do, what's not done. I would fill in the blanks. I would call the marketing team. I would call the head streamer and say, "Listen, can I do this? Can I do that?" But I spoke to the streamer. I want to be more involved right now. So you invited us to the TikTok meeting, and it was exhilarating for me. It was beautiful for me. So when we do films in the future, it's not just content for the cinema, but we're going to do content for the social media to promote the content of the cinema or the streamers, so as that cross-pollination actually happens. So I have to be more involved. That's what I've been talking to the streamers. I said, it belongs to both of us. When it fails, we both fail, and when we succeed, we both succeed. So I want to be involved, and I have to be involved in that part of the aspect.
Yeah, understood. And you mentioned TikTok, you mentioned digital channels. How has your approach to marketing changed over the past 3 years? Which are the channels that are giving you the best results?
See, the saddest part are the customers are always fickle, and marketing channels are always changing as well. So Falcon has always been strong marketers, having premieres in Amsterdam, on the cruise, getting giant posters across buildings, taking a jet and stickering the jet with our film posters and taking them across 7 cities, etc. Then TikTok came, YouTube came, etc. And everyone said you had to go digital. But then Wyatt says now social media is dying. Why? Because people just do not want to share. It's a closed structure right now, only amongst the closed structure. So social media has become media. It's those influencers that are actually selling their message and their influences. So I think it's a mix of both.
And Naveen, I think final question from me. What are you and Falcon excited about for the next year?
About the future. So I don't know why people are saying it's winter. It's not winter. We are on a strong investment spree right now. We invest into a film academy. We're taking it online. We're taking it across the region. We have invested into animation studio. All our major IPs are being animated as we speak. We are in preparation for the metaverse, for NFTs. We have set up a strong IP-based FMCG company, which is second in the market share within that product category. We're doing 12 films next year. We're doing 6 to 8 series next year. So I'm just trying to be the best at what I do and what my team does. And hopefully I become a company as great as Lego.
Thank you very much, Naveen.
Thank you very much.